And here is what she emailed me. She said, "Dear Kyle, I was getting ready to pray with you and the group when I took my gum out and put it on the bottle cap. While I was praying, the Lord directed my gaze to the gum, and I saw the tiny miracle. Enjoy this tiny consolation for all of the WFRN World Family Rosary Network. Our Lord also has a sense of humor." Of course, it being a chewed up piece of gum. But let's go ahead and take a look at, and I'm just going to let you look at that. That is the original image that she sent. She sent a few different angles of the picture of the gum. This one was probably the very best as far as the shadowing, and you can see it's placed right there on top of a water bottle. Which is very fascinating and interesting that it is, she did place it on top of a water bottle because, of course, here on this channel, almost 2 years ago, I discovered that mater, which is Latin for mother, reflected looks like water, mater, water. So I'm sure many of you, I know when I first saw it, I immediately saw Mary, Joseph holding baby Jesus right there, just like a little miniature sculpture of the Holy Family. So I'm going to let that just kind of sit there for a moment, and I do have some comparisons to show as well. Feel free to write what you see in the chat. But it is quite amazing and incredible. Thank you so much, Ginger Baker, for sharing this. And, you are more than welcome to call in if you would like. I've got it set up to the speaker. So if you would like to call in, you're more than welcome to. I do have a couple more slides here to show, and I'll go back to this one as well. But this one's not zoomed in or anything. This is the picture that she sent me. Like I said, she sent a few other, but I think this was probably the best of the pictures. So let me go back to the slides here. And thank you, Paula. I told Paula, I said, what you should look for, as if I couldn't, but she found a image of an ornament that's carved that looks very, very, very similar to the picture of the gum. And so you see, Joseph is on the right-hand side, Mary's is to his right. She's on the left-hand side looking at the picture. And then baby Jesus is in her arms, right up to her chest as if he's going to be nursing. So if you can't see it there, like I said, I think it's such an amazing capture that even without this ornament, you should be able to see it pretty clearly. Now the next picture, I did zoom in a little bit, made it a little bit larger. And hold on one second. Of course it would do this. Hopefully it's not going to shut down. And it did. I think it did. Of course it would do that. Let's see here. I don't know if it's going to... Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show the rest here. I guess I left it on the computer too long. Because my second display just shut down, and now I can't. It's going to take a while to get back onto that. So that might be the last one I'm going to be able to show. Hold on one second, guys. Let's see, display. I might be able to get it back up here. Unfortunately, the display that I was showing it on decided to oh, well, I guess it will have, she is calling in, so let's go ahead and answer it. Hi, is this Ginger? Well, I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties here. Ginger, can you hear me? I'm not hearing.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yep. Yes, I do. I do hear you. How are you tonight, Ginger?
Good.
Awesome. Well, you're live right now. So if you wanted to share a little bit about the experience there, you're more than welcome to.
I sure do. Well, I was just thrilled to be able to have this tiny little miracle, and I know it's tiny, but that day I had been praying a lot that day, and then I was so glad to make it to the Rosary WMD channel and be able to pray there. And this is highly unusual because I've never actually looked at a piece of gum to see anything, and
Sure.
also I wear bottle cap glasses, and so I don't see all that well. And the way the bottle was positioned underneath the light, and the Lord just directed my gaze to it, and it was very close to me at the desk, so I was able to see it. That's a miracle right there.
Yeah.
So, and it was amazing also that I was able to even get a picture. I tried that night. My phones were barely working. They've been just really on the blink. They're 7 years old, really, really full. I can't even get enough room to even clean them, and they don't charge. So just the fact that I was able to even get that picture that night, the couple of pictures that I actually got a couple of pictures, it was amazing, very miraculous just to even be able to do that.
Yeah, this is amazing. Sorry, I had a couple other of things to share. One thing I wanted to share too is when I was talking to Paula about it, about it being an encouragement to the WFRN, and I see Mr. Tapley is here. We all know that Mr. Tapley is a very accomplished sculptor himself. And I actually had a slide here to show some of the sculptures that he's done before. He's done numerous sculptures. So it's quite amazing that God had you chew and sculpture up a tiny little Holy Family in your mouth, and then set it right there on top of a water bottle. It's just
Yes,
absolutely
it
amazing. It really, really is.
And Mr. Tapley is a sculptor, yes. I thought of that, yes.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And what's also interesting too is you all know, part of the Rosary WMD. I've started a devotion to Saint Joseph, and he sort of made an appearance here with the WFRN as far as this this tiny little miracle, the Holy Family. Saint Joseph makes an appearance. And I think that's pretty timing, because I did just recently, probably last week, started praying that not Saint Leo, the Pope Leo the 13th prayer after the Rosary to Saint Joseph.
Yes, and on a sculpture, I know different people see it different ways, but strangely enough, I saw that Saint Joseph was holding the baby Jesus, and Mary was actually looking over her shoulder because I don't know with that particular view, but her face, the one on the right, looks more rounded, and you can see her cheek, and it's more of a rounded face, and to me it just looked like Saint Joseph was holding the baby Jesus, and I thought, how unusual for a nativity picture, because they always show Mary holding baby Jesus. So I know that you can see it either way, but
right. And Paula and I were kind of debating on that too. We weren't sure exactly which one was which. I tend to think that the one on the left is Mary because she has kind of a softer face, and like I said, she found that ornament where Saint Joseph is wearing sort of like, I don't know what they call it, like a hood on his head. And you really see the ripples of that on the right hand side of the image.
yes.
But I think you could see it either way, and no matter which way you see it, it's there. It's absolutely amazing.
It sure is. And I've never looked at a piece of gum before. Okay?
Yeah.
Chewed gum all my life, and I've never actually looked at a piece of gum to see
Right.
what it portends. And to me, that would be somebody that had way too much time on their hands.
Yeah. And especially since you said you don't have the greatest sight in the first place. So,
Right.
that's a miracle within itself that you even saw it. But
Yes.
yeah, I can imagine just that. It's very similar to when I saw when I was looked down. I don't know if you remember, Ginger, when I found like an image of the Annunciation at the Rosary Walk at my church back probably 2 years ago, and I shared that on the channel. There's a video about it. And it was the same sort of thing. I was sort of directed by our Lord to just gaze down, and I immediately saw Our Lady in the stone of the Rosary Walk, and it was very, very similar feeling. Just like you just kind of knew, like, I didn't really think to look down. It was just like I was directed to gaze down, and I immediately saw it. And yeah, it's very similar to that.
Yes, and I knew that I had to share it right away. I knew I had to share it with you all right away. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get you the picture that night. But
That's okay.
this is soon enough, I believe, for everyone. And everyone that was there that night when we were praying, you mentioned it, thank goodness, so that it was one of those immediate miracles that needed to be shared right away.
Let's see. Oh, wait, you know what? I think I was able to. Let me go back to the monitor display. And yes, I did put this together. This shows Mr. Tapley many of his sculptures that he's done. Of course, he's the founder of the World Family Rosary Network. So I think that connection is very, very significant. It was just a tiny little sculpture. And I do want to say a couple of other things that, if I can get that open, my computer's really working right now. A couple of things that Paula mentioned. She said that the little sculpture looks like clay. It doesn't really even look like gum. If someone just didn't know it was gum, it kind of looks just like clay. And she said that that's very appropriate since the members of the Holy Family were all fully human. Another thing she said was, excuse me, my voice is kind of leaving me. It's been a long day. She said, the old saying, good things come in small packages. And without a doubt, WFRN's patron saint, the little flower, had something to do with this. And I agree with that as well. And it's sitting on this was a great little comment she said too. She said it's sitting on top of a pure white bottle cap, which serves as a corona foundation for the little Holy Family. Perhaps to show that the humble Holy Family, whose three crowns join into one, upon which they rest united in love, stands in high contrast to the soon-to-be crowned figurehead monarch. And yes, it was just thank you so much, Ginger, for sharing that. It's really a great consolation as well for all the hard work we've put in praying each night and every day.
Thank you, Claire.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go now, and thank you, Paula, for all your work and your beautiful comments. And I did share it with some other friends that are devout, and they saw it right away. They were wowed. And then I shared it with some people in my family that are not devout at all, and they just said, "Oh, that's just nutty. You are just too nutty."
Yeah. We get kind of used to that for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yep, thank you.
Bye now.
Great talking to you, Ginger. Call anytime.
Great talking to you too.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye. All right. Well, that was nice. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the chat. Sorry about that little technology bluff there, or blunder, I should say. I've kind of lost track of where I'm at here. Got a lot of things open, 2 different displays and whatnot. So let's just go back to this one right here. Let me pull up the chat. I didn't load the chat into the program, but I do have it right here. Let's see. I'm not going to go too far up. There's not really a whole lot of chat here. Afro5 says, Ginger, that is so beautiful. Sam says, that is so cool. Thanks, Ginger and Kyle. Amen for Joseph's healing. Afro5 says. Afro5 says she sees the Holy Family. I see a similarity. Tino33. Praying for Kyle and his son. Thank you, Mara, very much. Mr. Rosary, but here for the chat, Jerry G. Thank you joining Jerry G. Thank you for sharing this. Third Eagle Books, Mr. Tapley himself says, I see Mary on the right looking to her left. I see Joseph holding the baby on the left. You can see his pointed beard. Thank you for your comment, Mr. Tapley. Doug Bull says, a late blessing. Definitely a miracle. Praise God, John A. says. Tino's 33 also says, to me it is hard to tell who is holding the baby Jesus, but it is there. Yes, I really do believe it is there. I wanted to go to, if I can, maybe to the... sorry, like I said, my computer video is going to be kind of choppy because it's really working my computer. Doug Bull says, I have a statue of Mary, Help of Christians, which, oh, that's great, Doug. There's actually a really great place here in Tampa. They have about 160 acres. It's called Mary Help of Christians Center. Oh, we have another caller coming into the program. Here's Paula. Hi, Paula. How are you today?
I'm fine. I just thought that I would share about who's who in the image.
Okay, let me go ahead and put the image up real quick. I do have it up again. And this is the larger image of it, which I think is good too. I kind of zoomed it in a little bit. But yeah, go ahead and it is showing now. So go ahead and share what you were thinking.
Yeah, when you and I were looking at it, because I had wondered about it myself, but then I came to my conclusion, and then when we spoke on the phone, you had indicated you thought maybe Joseph was on the left hand, and I explained how I came to my conclusion, and I thought, well, the face on the left hand side is more refined, smooth, and then the figure on the right-hand side is very bulky looking, like it would be a man. And besides, when I got that ornament picture, which was perfect for this, I was really looking for people, but then I found this sculpture, and I was like, well, sculpture, that's perfect. And the ornament looks like it's probably fake wood, but it looks like it's carved wood, which Joseph would have done. And what I like about this ornament is their faces are anonymous in the sculpture, just like they are in the gum sculpture.
Yeah, yep.
So that's why, because you look at a painting, you're going to get faces. So this was really very appropriate. And the other thing I noticed was, I'll call it St. Joseph's hood. In this little ornament, you can see the folds of the gathers where he has that band to hold it on his head. And there are folds and gathers on this larger figure, too. So, and it does look like perhaps baby Jesus might be nursing. So I do think that the figure holding the baby to the chest is Mary. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it.
I agree with you, Paula. Definitely, especially looking at the ornament that you found.
And by the way, that ornament is available on Amazon for anyone that's interested, but I think it's like $50. Perhaps it's really carved wood.
Yeah, it looks like one I've seen at Hallmark. There's what is it? It's like willow tree or something like that. I can't remember, but it's very similar to those I've seen before.
Yeah, willow tree, that's what it is.
I've been to Hallmark too many times, I think. Yeah, it is an absolutely amazing. And thank you again for Ginger calling in. That was wonderful.
Marvelous?
Yes, she was very much. Very sweet.
And also on a different figure that I had been looking at to confirm the hood thing was I had another figurine that he was wearing like, a mantle around his head, but he was standing, and that was from holyart.com, and that particular one, it says, this nativity scene statue of St. Joseph is made entirely of terracotta. And then I was like, yeah, terracotta, clay. Okay, we're on the right track.
Yeah, and I have it on the image with the ornament and the gum. And if you follow my mouse, you can see his arm is like Joseph's arm's right here. Yeah. And then in the gum, you see the arm, follow my mouse. Yeah. My mouse cursor, you see the arm right here, also holding baby Jesus, at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is an image in the Pietà Rosary book of a sketch of Blessed Mother's face that was guided by Mary's hands, the visionary, and that image shows Mary with a very pointy chin. So I think that the figure on the left is Mary. She's sometimes portrayed with a very pointy chin. And what I really love about this image, though, is that St. Joseph is supporting Mary's arm supporting Jesus. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I forgot to ask if she's preserved it in some... I hope she didn't put it back in her mouth and chew it all up.
Maybe she put it in the chat. We need to know.
Yeah.
Minds want to know.
Yeah. I'd put it under a glass dome or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And put it in a curio cabinet.
Definitely. Yeah. That would be cool. And the other thing that I liked about it was because it was little.
Yeah.
The fact that it is little is important because it represents the remnant being so little. Just because something's little doesn't mean it's insignificant. I mean, look at a diamond ring, the jewel, the diamond's so small, typically, but it's highly valued. So it's just, and it represents, the remnant, WFRN. I feel it's definitely for WFRN. I feel it's an encouragement, a confirmation that we're all on the right track.
Yeah.
Doing as many rosaries as we can a day. And the fact that you just became a devotee of St. Joseph.
Yeah.
And that prayer that you just prayed tonight, it talks about the darkness. He's helping us against the darkness. And you see there on this illuminated circle of the cap, but the whole background is dark. Ginger, by the way, that's a fantastic photograph. That's fantastic. I don't try to take anything better than this one. This one was the one that was meant to me.
Yeah,
well, I have
definitely.
nothing else to share, so I think that's it for me.
Yeah, she did a great job. And Tino33, he reminds us of the miracle of the beads, which happened in the during the pilgrimage, the WFRN pilgrimage last summer, where the beads changed, the Our Father beads changed pictures, images. And, he said, in this one here, we are definitely on the right track. Praise be to God. She said, I preserved it, but it was just a miracle for the moment. It has dried out and gone out of shape now. Oh, okay.
Really?
Well, at least you've got the picture, and that's really what counts, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And the more I look at it, I can kind of see like the definition of Mary's, forehead and her eyes. It's just, the more I look at it, the more detail I see, to be honest.
Yes, and it maybe Mr. Tapley can post that on his website. Mm-hmm. Because it is for the network.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well,
okay, I'm gonna hang up. God bless you all. Thanks for praying with us.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, both Ginger and Paula. And good night, Paula. Have a blessed evening.
Okay, you could. Good night.
Thank you. All right, my arm was getting tired. I had to kind of hold up the phone to the microphone. Again, sorry about the technical difficulties. I had this second monitor up, and it wants to save power, and it ended up closing down, and I had to figure out how to get it back up. But thankfully, we were able to get the image back up on there. Let's see. Very well said, Tino. Stellar, Ginger says. Yes, that was a very small miracle, just little just very tiny little Our Father beads, changing images during the pilgrimage last summer to Osage, Iowa, where Mr. Tapley's at. And now here on this channel, Rosary WMD, Ginger Baker's Tiny Little Miracle. And yes, Mr. Tapley says, sure, I will post it on my website. That's great. Thank you, Mr. Tapley. And again, thank you, Ginger, for calling in. That was so wonderful to hear from you. And thank you for sharing your experience. So anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the program for tonight. Thanks, everyone, for praying along with me. I should be live. Tomorrow is First Friday. And then that means Saturday will be First Saturday. So if you are able to do the First Saturday devotion or First Friday, that is coming up tomorrow. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going to a First Friday devotion, at least part of it, but I should be live. I should be back live for a rosary at my normal time at 9:15. Real quick though, Doug says something else here. Hi, Ginger. The statue is 12 inches and the hole is about half an inch, so I have to put it up to my eye, but the colors make a blue sky and white clouds and Mary with a blue and white veil. Oh, really awesome. Thank you for sharing, Doug. All right, everyone. Thank you again. May God bless you all, and we'll see you all tomorrow. And don't forget, Mr. Tapley is back up at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow for the Sorrowful Mysteries. May God bless you all. Thank you, everyone, part of the WFRN. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.